Hey everyone, I hope you all are doing great. Welcome to Bytewise, and today we are going to be looking at the three-tier architecture in C Sharp, ASP.NET, and Windows Form, and we will also be building a project in it as well. So, what even is three-tier architecture? Yeah, like you guys might know that when we usually code, we put the entire things into a one single project, and everything is put into that. And if you think about it, it is very difficult to scale and very difficult to like work in teams in that sort of a project. So, in order to resolve that sort of issue, the things are divided into separate layers. Now, what those layers are, these are the layers. We have presentation layer, we have business logic layer, we have data access layer. In presentation layer, we are dealing with the UIs, and in the business logic layer, we are uh, validating things, and we are like building the logics that uh, every business needs, or any custom logics that you need to build, it will be put in here. And then we have the data access layer. This directly communicates with the database, so we don't have to type manual queries. And we have app props. This can be considered as a custom data structure. We will put like all of our variables in here, and then we will pass this to our data access layer. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, so we will be creating these files. So without any further ado, let's get started. Let me just close this down. Yeah. Okay. Uh, we now I'll open Visual Studio 2019. By the way, you need Visual Studio 2019, SQL Server 2019 Express Edition, SSMS. Yeah, that's about it. Then I'm going to click on Create New Project. I will click on .NET. Then I will select where is it? ASP.NET. Hmm. Here it is. Okay, I will be selecting this. Make sure you're selecting the right version. Make sure it says C Sharp here, and this is the name. Click on next. Let me name it. Hmm. We will be building a student management system though. What should we name it? Three tier SMS. SMS stands for Student Management System. We have selected the right thing. Let's click on create. This is asking me like what should I add. You know what, let's uh, do it empty, because we will be like adding manual forms in that. Okay, let's click on create. Okay, now this is done. Now what I will do is I will first make all of the layers. Let me create all of the layers. Right click on solution, then click on add, and then click on new project. I will click on class library, and then I have to click this one, class library .NET framework. Okay, and make sure C Sharp is selected. Okay, now click on next. Let's name it DAL. Oh, you know what? BL, business logic layer. I'm going to click on create. Now that's done. What I will do is I will also add another project. Right click on solution, then click on add, and then click on new project. We will add the same library. This is here. Let's name it DAL data access layer, and then we will add one more called app props. App props. Yeah. Yeah, now that's done. All of our, you can say, layers are completed. We have the presentation layer. This is a presentation layer, by the way, and this is BLL, and this is DAL, data access layer. Now, what do we have to do now? We have to create a database. Let me open this. By the time this opens, let's, you know what, let's wait for it to load. Okay. This is asking me to connect. I will connect. Okay, this is connected now. Now, this is a table that these three are the tables that I have already created. You guys can just copy and paste the same query. And I would highly suggest you guys to write queries instead of like manually creating the table from here. That gives you much more control over things. Okay, I've created these three tables, and then what I'll do is I will come here to app props, and then I will make three different classes. What those three classes will do, those three classes will, you can say, like they will act as a reference for table. Like if you have four tables, you will make four classes. If you have 10 tables, you will make 10 classes, and these classes will be the same in all of the layers. Like let's suppose we have three tables, we will make three classes in app props, we will make three classes in BLL, we will make three classes in DAL. Yeah, now that's done. Let's rename this class. We already have one class. Let's call it students. Now that's done. I already have this written, so let me just copy it, paste it from here. Let me, yeah, I've like copied it from here. By the way, when you write this, you don't have to write this. You can just like click on this bulb icon, and it should like give you an option of encapsulate field, so you can use this. Our students is ready. Now we have to make two other classes as well. Right click on app props, click on add, click on class. I will name the class subjects. Now that's done. I have also written this here. Where is it? Yeah, it's here. I'm copying it from here. By the way, make sure to put this as public. It will have issues afterwards. Yeah, this is public as well. This is done. Now let's add another one. Let's add, what should we add? Teachers. I also have that written. This is it. You can just pause the video here and type it if you guys want. Okay. Yeah, I forgot to put it in public. This is done. Okay, now all of our three classes and app props are ready. Now let's move towards DAL, data access layer. What we'll do in that is, you know what, let's just, yeah, I'll rename it to student DAL, because it's the data access layer for students. That's why I am doing this. I have to write four functions, or rather five functions in DAL. The first function would be the insert function, second one would be the update, the third one would be the delete, and the fourth one would be read one specific record, and the fifth one would be read all records. And that's the summary of DAL. And if you remember correctly, we used to add a dbcon class helped us like which helped us simplify our entire process. So we will add that same dbcon class here as well. Click on right click on your project, click on add, then click on class. I will call it dbcon. This is here. I have already written dbcon class. Let me just copy it from here. Yeah, this is here. Okay, now this is giving me an error that I haven't imported it yet, so let's import it. Yeah, this is done. Okay, and then import this. By the way, you can import it by clicking on this bulb and then using the suggestion. This is done. Our dbcon class is ready. Now what we'll do is we will fill up the student DAL, and we will also make an object of dbcon here. Dbcon con is equal to new dbcon. Yeah, we also need to define a con string. You know what, I have already written this as well. Student DAL, let's just copy it from here. You can see that I've written dbcon here, and then I've written like the connection string here. I will also tell like how you can add your connection string. Other than that, yeah, that's about it. Now what this is doing is, you know what, let's first resolve these issues. Let's rename it to student with small s. Now that's done. Okay, in DAL what you need to do is right click on DAL, click on add, click on references, and add app props as a reference. Click on OK. Now I will import app props above. App props, this is done. You can see that all of the errors are removed. Now what this is doing is we are first defining the dbcon object, and then we are defining the connection string. The reason I'm defining it here is when you shift towards this code, like when you move this code to your lab or somewhere else, you can easily change the connection string. You don't have to change it all over again. Okay, then we have the student DL. This is the constructor. I'm initializing it here. Okay, so what else do we have? Yeah, we have the insert query. You guys can see that. We have the UTI query, and the only difference is in these last two queries, because one is returning a specific record, the other one is returning all of the records. Okay, right click on this because this hasn't been imported. Okay, now this is done. I will do the same for like all other classes as well. We, as I said earlier, we will be making 3 files in each layer. The one is student DL. Now we will add, what will we add? We will add, you can call student subject DAL. Now this is done. I also have that code written. Let me just copy it from here. This will be the same code. The only thing that we will be changing here is you can say these like parameters, and these you can say the table name and the values. That's it. We won't be changing anything else, and we need to do the same thing here using app props. And what else? Using system.data. Now since this is done, let's move towards teachers. Teacher DL. Let's add, where is it? I also have that code written. Yeah, and this is raising the same issues. Let me just using app props, using system dot data. Now this is done. What else? Yeah, I was saying that how can you get the connection string? Click on view, click on server explorer, then click on connect to database, then like put your click here and your server name should appear, and this takes a lot of time. So what you can do is go to SSMS, right click on this, click on properties, and then copy this name, and then what you can do is paste that here. This will like save you a bunch of time, and then click on the university database, click on OK, and then this should appear. You can see that here. If this doesn't appear, right click here and click on properties. Here is this connection string. Okay, you just need to copy this here and put it here. That's all you need to do. Okay, now our DAL is ready. What do we need to do is we need to move towards BLL. Make sure to follow this sequence. You can either go towards bottom up approach or top down approach, totally on you. What I'm following is this approach. We first created app props for 3 files. Then created a DL for all the 3 files. Now we will be creating the BLL for all 3 files. Okay, I'm going to rename this to, what should be, teacher student BLL. Yeah, that should do. I also have that code written. Let me just copy it from here. The only thing we are doing it here is let me, yeah, we haven't imported it yet. Let me just rename it to, okay. If you guys can see, the only thing we are doing here is we are making an object of the data access layer, and then we are calling those functions here. That's all we're doing. And you might be saying that we're seeing these sort of errors. Can some of you guess why? We haven't added any reference to this layer. So what we will do is we will add a reference. Right click on BLL, click on add, click on reference, and then I will double check app props and DL, and then I will import those here as well using what was app props and using DL, and also one more, so using system dot data. Yeah, that's it. You can see that all of the errors are removed. You can copy paste this and change minor things in BLL as well, and you can write custom logic here if you guys want, but we are not using any logic. We are just implementing the architecture. Now that's done. Let's close up these things. Okay. Mm. Now we have added one file. Let's add another file called teacher BLL. Let's fill it. I also have this code written. Let's, yeah, it will be the same code. The only thing we will be changing is the like variable names, and this is having the same issues. So what we will do is we will import some stuff, system.data, so using app props, using DL. Yeah, that's it. Hmm. This is saying that this is inaccessible due to its protection level. As I said earlier, we need to public like everything. Put it in public. Now that's done. Let's see. We haven't put this in public as well. Make sure to put this in public though. Do not make the mistake. Okay, this is done. You can see that the errors are removed. Let me see if it's recording. Yeah, it's recording. Okay, you can see that we have added two files in the BLL. Now we will add the last file, which will be subject BLL. Yeah, this is it. I also have this code written. Let's open this, click here. Yeah, this is it. Now this will also have the same issues, so let's import it. Import the stuff, app props, using, you can say, DL, using system dot data. That's it. Now you can see that it's all of the errors are removed. Let's put it in public as well. Let's put everything in public because we don't want to have to issues afterwards. Yeah, this is done. Now our BLL layer is also ready. Now what do we have to do? We have to move towards the presentation layer. This is our presentation layer. We haven't added a single form yet. So what will I do? Right click on this, click on add, and click on web form. Okay, make sure you have selected this. Let's call the web form student form. Now this is done. You can see the design is empty, and we're not going to be like dragging and dropping stuff here. And what's the issue here? Okay, you know what? Let's design the form. I also have this form ready. Let's open it here. Where is it? This is the form. Let me just copy paste it. I will go over this. Like, what have we done here? Okay, let's put it here. Now what am I doing here? If you can see that you can use this format to create a label, you can use this format to create a text box manually, not by dragging and dropping. And make sure you have set the right ID here, because we will be, you can say, hmm, we will be like referencing them, so make sure you have added the right IDs. And you can see that our layout is ready. You can manually do this. Let me show you the entire code. This is the code if you guys want to write it. It's like not difficult, you just have to add these sort of things. And yeah, make sure that you've inserted this right on click, because this will be the like button where you will write the entire code, the entire logic for it. Let's click on here. Let's see. Why is it giving so many issues? You know what, let's add references first. Let's add some references here, because we will be accessing a lot of stuff from before, so we only need to refer app props and BLL here. Okay, now that's done. This is the insert button. So what will I do? I will create you can say an object of students st is equal to new students. This is saying I haven't imported the stuff. I will click on using app props, and this will this issue will be resolved. Let's add using BLL as well, BLL, because we don't want to have any issues afterwards. Okay, now this object is ready. Now what we will do is, one by one we will be storing the values in their respectable containers. st dot sid is equal to id dot text. let's yeah, that's it. This is done. St dot name is equal to s name, I think so, yeah. With s name, st dot email is equal to s name dot, it's not s name, sorry, my bad, it's email, I think so, email dot text. What else do we have? Let's open our query because this will help us write things. We're in students, so st dot password is equal to pass dot text, st dot age is equal to age dot text, st dot university is equal to uni dot text. By the way, these are the names that we set in this file here, like you can see that pass, email, these sort of stuff. Okay, now this is done. We will add a degree here as well. Degree is equal to uh, degree dot text. Now this is done. Now what we have to do, now we have to pass this entire thing into our BLL. Let's create an object for it as well. You know what, let's create an object of BLL here. What was the name of our students BLL? Student BLL, uh, SBLL, I'm going to name it new student BLL. That's it, we have created an object for this. Now all we have to do is we have to SBLL dot why is it having issues? Yeah, I forgot, I think so we have to put it in public as well. Yeah, we have to public this as well. Sorry, my bad. We will add this, add public to here. Thing is that if you want to access anything from any other project, you have to put it in public. We have to do it in all other files as well. Let's do this, 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 and this. Let's do it for teacher too. Okay, so this is done. You can see that, yeah, now this is visible. We want to insert it, so what we'll do is we will pass the st object here. Voila, this is done. Now what I will do is I will build a logic for it. If this is not equal to 0, what I'll do is, you know what, let's first add another label here. Where should we add the label? You know what, let's add a, should we add it to the top or where should I add it? I think I should add it here. You know what, let's add it here below the buttons and above the grid. What I will do is I will type what should I type, div, then I will type I will copy a label here, just copy it from here. This is the label and I will call it status, and text will be status, or you know what, let's call it status. And the text will be none because this will be empty. We will be setting the text later. Let's see if it's, yeah, this is right. You know what, let's add some few breaks here as well. BR, let's see if it has, it hasn't added a break. anyhow, like this is it. We've added the status here. Hmm, should it be here? Why not add it to? You know what? Let's add it. Let's see. Let's cut it, and then I will add another TD. This is done. I will add it here. Now the status is here. I think this is better. Okay, this is done. Let's save it. This is pure HTML though. The only thing different is this. And if you want to add button, click like add button here. If you want to add labels, select label here. And if you want to add grid here. You can copy this from my screen as well. I'm going to you guys can pause this here. Okay, this is done. Now what we'll do is I've put a condition here, and if this is not equal to 0, that means that our insertion was successful. What I will do is status dot text is equal to insert was successful. Okay, that's it. Yeah, it's like having issues with this. If you just tried this can work as well. And else, let's copy paste it here, and was not successful. This is it, and that's all we need to do for the insert button. Now what I'll do is I'll write the code for all other buttons as well. Let's type it for um, like update. It will be the same code. You don't have to write anything different. The only thing that will be different will be here, student update, and update was successful and update was not successful. All of our logic will be handled here separately. You can see the benefit of building separate layers, right? Okay, then we will come towards here. We will do this, delete. You only need one thing, but we will be passing the entire thing so we don't have any issues. Delete was successful. Delete student. Delete. Now that's done. Let's see, we have read. Yeah, this one will be a bit changed. I've added this, then I will be this will be how should we handle this? We only need the SID. What I will do is I will, since we are reading things from here, right? So I have to set the text for it. You know what? Let's like leave it here. We need this thing, and where do we need to pass it? We need to pass it into a data table. Data table dt is equal to new data table. That's it. And then we need to import this as well. Now dt is equal to sbll dot student read, and then I will pass the st here, dt dot, and we also need to define like we already have defined the grid. Let's see what name we gave it. We gave it the name sgrid. Let's reference sgrid. Grid dot data source is equal to dt, and sgrid dot data bind Yeah, that's it. You only need to do this. This should work. And then, by the way, we are not filling this right now. And so what should we do? Let's just comment this out. This will be written in the next like version. We're not like adding it here. Okay, now what do we need to do is we need to set these values. So let's set them one by one. Let's put a condition if dt dot rows dot count is greater than 0, then what will it do? This will do this. Otherwise we will set the status read was not successful, otherwise the status will be read was successful. Okay, then what I will do is dt dot rows 0 dot what was the format? And let me remember what was the format of that. Okay, so this is how you can extract data from the data table. Just like type dt dot rows, then 0, then the name of the column. What was the name of the column? S name, I think so. Let's see. We had name, email. You know what? Let's keep it open here. Uh, this will help us. It was name, and then you can see that this is raising some issues. This is because this we have to convert this into a string as well. Okay, this is done. Let's copy and paste it and then delete this too. Name, email, pass. No, it's password. Sorry, my bad. These values should be the same as these. Okay. Uh, age, university, and then we have degree. That's it. And we also need to update the status that read was successful. I've already added that. We do not need to add that again. Our read is done. Now what do we have to do is we have to add the code for the read all button as well. This button, I'll click on this, then I will copy and paste this. Why is it's causing issues? Let's see what's the issue. I think this is an extra, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, these two are extra. Okay, now this is done. I've copied this. Then what should I add? Data table s grade. This is the name of the data grid though. Is it dot source? Sorry, source data source is equal to dt, and then we have to bind this as well. Dot data bind. That's it. This is ready. Should we like run it and test things? I think we should, because our one form is ready. Let's see if everything works correctly. I will click on run. Fingers crossed. So no errors here right now. Let's hope everything runs correctly. Okay, I will type one name. Let's type my name as one. Let's type abc@gmail.com. Password as abc. Age. Let's type 20. University is normal. Degrees BScs. Let's click on insert. Insert was successful, thank God. Now let's read it, if the data was inserted successfully or not. Yeah, you can see that this is like inserted correctly. And let's click on update. Yeah, if like our data is updated or not. Let's click on, let's change my age to 23. Let's click on update. This is saying update was successful. Now what will I do is I will click on read all. Yeah, you can see that it's successfully running. Let's add a few other records as well, and let's add uh, demo, and the email should be the same, demo age 24. Let's say ist. Let's suppose we have um, bsaa. I will insert it. Insert it successful. Read all. Oh, this is having issues because it's not like getting all of the records. Let's see what's the issue here. Oh, I've referenced this. We need to change the reference to this. Okay, let's run it again if this works. I think we need to rerun it. Okay, let's see. Let's restart it and let's see if things work correctly or not. Yeah, these are working fine. So we can see that we have come a long way and everything is working correctly. Let's add a few other forms as well. You know what? Let's. How should we add those forms? Yeah, we should add that in the same manner. Right click on 3-tier SMS like your ASP.NET project. Then I will click on add. Then I will click on web form. This will ask me for a form. Let's add teacher form. The teacher will have somewhat same stuff as student, so I will copy the entire thing from here to there. Let's see. Okay, now this is done. Let's see the design of this. Yeah, the only thing we might have to change is the, ID is the same. Let's copy this code as well. Let's see. Let's click on insert, then click on you know what, we have to change one thing because this I named it as s underscore inserted. Let's rename it to, let's rename it to t. Let's rename it to t as well because this is teacher. Okay, now this is done. Click on here. Yeah, this works fine. Okay, in insert, let's add all of the code from the student. Where is the insert button. Okay, we have it here. Let's copy paste it here. You can see that this will have some issues because we haven't like imported the stuff. Let's import it using app props, using BLL, and using system dot data. And let's create an object as well, object of BLL tBLL is equal to new teacher BLL. Yeah, this should work. Okay, you know what, let's first add all of the stuff, then we can write the logic. I am copying and pasting it from our old code, so that's why you need to focus on one code, then you can modify your code to work along any project you want mostly. Let's write the code for deleted as well. Where is it? Let's type the code for read and read all. Okay, so this is done. And make sure when you guys are doing this on your own, you can change the labels or change the field names. Okay, now this is done. Let's see what errors do we have. We have this SPLL error. So what will I do? I will firstly change students to teachers. Teachers. What will be changed? Okay, we are on the right track. Okay, we've changed this. Let's change ST to let's change ST to, you know what, let's like leave it as ST. The only thing we will change here is this. SID will be TID, I think so. Yeah, this will be TID. Okay, and SBLL will be TBLL, TBLL, and student will be dot student will be dot teacher. Teacher. Yeah, this is done. Let's see if we have any issues. No, we don't have any issues. This should work fine now. We've made our form here. Let's save it. Let's save this. Okay, you know what, let's add labels to these two as well. hmm. Where should I add the labels? Let's add a div in the top. Div. Let's add h1 tag, and let's add, you know what, we don't need the label, we can just type it, student form. You can see this. Okay, this is done. Let's just use this in here as well. Let's add here, let's add teacher form, and yeah, we have the teacher form. I will also add links as here as well. You can like, we will add that in the end though. Now all that is remaining is the last form. Let's add another form. Let's add another form. Let's call it subject form. Okay, now that's done. Let's copy stuff from the previous file and we will rename it accordingly. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay, this is done. Now we have to change a lot of stuff here. We have to change subject. Let's see what fields do we have. We have SID. Okay, SID will be as it is. We have the subject name, and we have CR, like credit hours, and text will be credit hours. What else do we have? We have degree. We also have degree below, so we don't need to add it again. Okay, let's add marks and and add marks here. Marks. Let's remove the extra stuff. Okay, degree. Okay, this is done. Now what I'll do, the insert will be the same. Okay, let's change T to S because this is subject status. Okay, now that's done. Let's see the design. Subject form. Okay, looks great. And then what I will do is, let's see what can I change. Let's write the code for the buttons as well. Let's click on this. Let's go towards the teacher form. Let's copy stuff from the teacher student form. Okay, insert code. Let's open it. Let's first copy all of the stuff, then we will see like what can we change. Then we should copy this, delete one. This is done. Let's see. Let's copy this read one. Okay, and then just all of that. Now all of our data is copied from there to here. So what I will do is I will reference this using app props, using BLL. Let's define an object here. Subject BLL SBLL is equal to new subject BLL. Okay, now this is done. Now what I'll do is I will replace students with subjects. Let's change it. This is done. SID. We have S name. What else do we have? We have credit hours, CR. What else did we have? We had marks. Let's see. Mars and degree. Yeah, one more only. We have this. Yeah, this is ready. Now we need to replace student with dot student will be replaced with dot subject. Okay, this is done. Let's copy and paste this onto other places too. this is how you should code as well. You don't need to write everything again. You can reuse your written code. If you write things like in a correct manner, it will be very easy for you to like do it. Okay, this is done. Let's see what else do we have. We have credit hour, CR. Let's see. Yeah, we have CR. We have marks, marks. We have, what else do we have? Marks, CR, degree. Yeah, I think that's done. I degree, S name, SID. Yeah, this should work. Okay, now this is done. Let's see what else can we add. Subject all. I think this should work. Should we test it? Yeah, I think we should. Let's run it. Let's type 1, subject name, maths, credit hours 3, marks 70, degree is going to be BSCS. Let's insert it. Insert was successful. Let's click on read all. That's awesome. Let's add another one. English 80. Let's click on insert. Let's read all. Yeah, you can see that our all of our data is successfully being saved into the form. Now what I will do is I will link all of them together. I will try to link all of them together, like, okay, just give me a second. Okay, so let's link all of them together. How will I link all of them together? Let's start. How should we do that? And you can just leave it as it is though. This is just an additional thing if you guys want to do that. Okay, so let's just a second. Okay, sorry. uh, Now let's start with the student one. Okay, let's add another div here. Let's add div. Let's add 3 buttons. We can copy the buttons from below. You know what, let's add a table here as well. Okay, okay, so let's copy this from here to here. We've added a table here. Let's add how many buttons do we need? We need 2 buttons only. The first button would be, let's say we're here at student, then we need to redirect to, where do we need to redirect? We need to teacher, teacher and subject. Teacher, subject. On click, TS, SP. Okay, that should do. Yeah, this is right. Okay, now let's write the code at the end of these. um, Response dot redirect. Let's add the file name of teacher form dot aspx. Yeah, this should do. Then add here as well. Let's copy paste this. Subject form. Okay, this should work. Let's add it on other files as well. Let's copy it. Let's add it to subject. Okay, Now we're in subject, so this should redirect to students. Student. Let's write the code for this as well. Let's see, we can copy the code from here. Where is it? Yeah. And this is done. Now the only one remaining is the teacher form, I think. Yeah, teacher form is remaining. Let's copy this again. Let's paste it here. Where is it? Yeah, here. Let's call it student st. Okay, now this is done. What should I do? Let's write the code for this. We can copy the code from here. And then where is it? We have the one from subject. Yeah, this should work. Let's try running it. Okay. Yeah, this is working fine. Okay. Now the teacher one is having issues. Oh, the student one is having issues. Yeah, it's student form, not student. My bad. Let's rerun it to check everything is working properly. Okay, yeah, this is working fine. Let's read all. Let's go to teacher, read all, subject, read all. Okay, now this is working fine. Our presentation layer is complete, but we also need to add a Windows form as well. So let's add that. Right click on solution, click on add, click on new project, then click on Windows form application. Click on this .NET framework and make sure you selected the C# one. Okay, let's name it 3-tier Windows. Now this is done. Our Windows presentation layer is here. Now what I will do is, if you can click on view, then click on, where is it, toolbox. I will design this. Where is it, view dot toolbox. Let's pin it so this doesn't move anywhere. Let's search label, and then rename it to ID, then add text box, then I think I should add all of the text boxes right now. Text box, I think we need 6 fields. Are 6 enough? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, let's add one more. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, now that's done. Let's move this around a bit. Now let's add labels, multiple labels. Okay, this is done, this is done, this is done. Let's first make a layout, then we will like change things accordingly. Okay, ID, we have name. Let's name it email. Let's call it password. Let's call it age. Let's call it what else field, university and degree. And let's call it degree. Okay, now this is done. Let's rename these as well. Right click and then click on properties, then head over to design. This will be SID, this will be name, this will be email, this will be pass, this will be age, this will be uni, and this will be degree. Okay, you know what, let's change things up a bit. Let's add it to the bottom, add this here. This should work. Okay, now this is done. What I will do is I will add another label here called status. Let's rename it to, where is it? Or rather, we would add two labels. One would be status itself. Status. Yeah. Okay, let's set the text. Where is it? Yeah. And label, let's call it status. Okay, this is done. Let's add buttons. Button. Okay, let's add another button. Let's rename it to insert, update, delete, and then read, read, then read all, read all. Okay. Oh, you know what? Let's call it fill table. Fill table. Okay, now that's done. Let's head over to here. Call it read all. Then call this read. Call this delete. Call this update, and call this insert. You know what, let's like add a label as well at the top so that it's obvious that which form is this. Let's name it to, where is it, student form. Where is the size of this? I'm basically trying to like increase its size. Let's see. You know what? Let's just leave it as it is. This is enough. We should focus on the main things. Data grid. Let's add this. Okay, this is done. Let's do it. Let's rename it to, where is it? Grid. Let's call it grid. Okay, now this is ready. Let's copy the same code from our students one to here. The code for the buttons though. Sorry. Okay, let's head over to the insert button code. Let's copy it from here. By the way, we need to add references here as well. Right click here, add references. Let's click on app props and BLL. That's it. Okay, coming back to the forms, let's call using app props, using BLL, using system.data. This is done. Okay, let's paste it here. ID. What did we name it? Let's see. We called it SID. You know what? Let's name it ID. And let's name his name, but okay, S name. Okay, let's rename it to S name. I'm doing this because I want to reuse the same code as much as possible. Where is it? Yeah, this is it. This is done and degree. Let's click on degree. This is done. Okay, now we're having issues with SPLL because we haven't defined that yet. Student BLL SPLL is equal to new student BLL. Yeah, this should do. Okay, this is done. Let's copy the code for other buttons as well. Now you guys can see the benefit of like all of the layers. We can like, it's so easy for us to access this stuff. We can reuse the same code for the web and for the like Windows Form application as well. Here you go. Okay, let's go to delete. Let's copy it. Let's paste it. Where is it? Let's click on read. Let's get the data for read. Let's see what issue do we have here. Yeah, we don't have any issues. Okay, let's change this here as well. Okay, what else do we have? We have fill table. Let's get data from the fill table. We don't need to call this here. Okay, now this is done. Let's add other forms as well. Let's save it. Okay, let's rename this form though. Let's rename it to student form. Okay, now this is done. Okay, let's add a few other forms. Let's add a new form. Let's call it teacher form. Let's copy everything from here to here so that we don't have to change things all over again. Let's change stuff. Let's call it teacher form. Teacher form. Let's all of let's double check if all of the data is the same. Yeah, everything is same. Okay, then we just need to change this to teacher ID. Teacher ID. Okay, let's see, let's write the code for it. You know what, let's copy everything from the student part to here. You can type it manually, I'm just saving time. And I would suggest you guys that you should like do it manually rather than doing this. Okay, let's import stuff using BLL and using system.data. That's it. Let's create an object. dbll is equal to new teacher bll. You can do it manually, I'm just saving time though. Okay, and then changing students to teachers. And then changing dot sid to dot did. This is done, I assume. Yeah, this form is also done. Like it, you can see that it took less than a few minutes to make this. Okay, so let's make the last form, and then we can like call it a complete success. Let's add a new form. Let's call it subject form. Okay, now let's copy the same stuff from here to here. Let's remove some stuff because we only have, you can say 1 2 3 4 5 fields, and we have 7 here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. What can we remove? We need to leave the degree here. Let's remove age as well. What else do we have? We have let's rename some stuff. Subject form, subject ID, let's call it subject name, and then call it, what should we call it, credit hours and marks. Okay, now that's done. Let's move this up as well. Okay, this is done. Now let's change the variable names. It's this will be fine, this will be fine as well. Now this needs to be changed. What the name is, let's name it CR. Let's name this one marks. Okay, now this is done. Let's copy some stuff from here to here as well. So we don't have to type everything again. I would not suggest copying pasting stuff. You can pause the video here and type everything down as you guys go along. Okay, using app props, using BLL, using data system.data, sorry. Okay, let's create a new object, subject BLL SBLL is equal to new subject BLL. Now this does the job. Let's replace some stuff. Teachers will be replaced with subjects. Okay, let's see. TID will be replaced with SID, name will be replaced with SName, email will be replaced with CR, and this will be CR as well. Marks, and we can remove the rest of the two. This will be replaced with SPLL and subject. Okay, this is done. Let's copy and paste this from here to here. Okay, SID, let's its name and its CR, and these are marks. Let's see what else can we add. Let's double check the names. SName, SID, SName. Okay, now that's done. Let's double check if anything else is remaining. Yeah, this one is remaining. Okay, this is done. Let's like run it and everything is ready. What's the issue? Hmm. It isn't running. Why is that? You know what? Let's click on this. Let's see how we can run this. Let just a second. Okay, so you guys can run this by right clicking 3 tier windows and then clicking on debug, then clicking on new instance. This will like fill things up. And then if I click on fill table, you can see this is the data that we inserted from our web application, if you guys remember. Let's read it. You can see that everything is working perfectly fine. Let's add another thing. Let's call it ABC. Let's name it J. Let's call it 30. Let's call it BBA, and let's call it NUST. And insert was successful. You can see that data has been successfully inserted. And should I check like every other instance or not? Let's see. You can also connect this with like other forms as well, like just like we did in here. Like, where is it? Where did it go? Like this, you can add buttons which link to other files, and it's pretty straightforward. You guys can do that. So I hope that you guys got a chance to learn some amazing stuff here. Let me just click on debug new instance. Okay, you guys can see this is working fine. Okay, I really hope that you guys got a chance to learn some new things, some amazing things, and all of your questions related to 3D architectures are clear. We implemented this entire project which has two front ends, two presentation layers, which one is in web and the second one is in Windows. Still, if you guys have any questions, ask me in the comments down below. I will be more than glad to help you guys out. Okay, so other than that, now you guys might be wondering how to run each individual files. You know what? Let's see if I can add some another button which will help you guys open another form. I'll be adding a new button here. I will give an example of just one button. You guys can add as many buttons you guys want. Okay, let's call it teacher. You know what, it opens student first, right? So let's add that button to student. Click here. We've added the teacher. Click on teacher. Now on this, let's click on var form form1 is equal to new subject form. Now let's see if this works. Just add this simple line and this will open another form for you. Let's debug this. Oh, sorry. I also have to type in form1.show. Okay, let's run it again. here you go. You can see that you can open different form. This is a student form, this is a subject form. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys got a chance to learn great things, and you can add startup project as well. Anyhow, best of luck, and I really hope that you guys got a chance to learn new things. And if you guys still have any confusions, do ask me down in the comments down below. Thank you.